I ever discuss this too, y'all. So
Hey, we back in, man.
Got it
Good, man. Don't cry. Don't cry.
I just tell I ain't never told nobody this.
Hey, we back in, man. Hey, we still about 15 minutes.
Hey, put on a nose and nothing like
30 seconds.
Just that.
Okay. All right. Hey, y'all, we still about 15 more minutes. This thing is too good to get up off it. I'm so glad we got Big A to hear this other side of the story that a lot of people don't get. We usually get it from the female or whoever, but why? This some good up here in this barbershop. I told y'all why. This barbershop where it's at. We got to get these sponsors and things. We need this other hour.
Host, guests, and callers who are not necessarily those of recent broadcasting, this station, staff, or the advertising for
Bring it back in with it.
Welcome back to Love 860, Shop Talking Randomish. To join the shop, dial 404-355-8699 or 1-866-923-2860. You can also go to www.love860.com or you can tune in at the TuneIn app and go to 860. You're in Shop Talking Randomish, and we're back with Miss Juba, the author of From the Pole to the Pulpit, and her husband, Aaron.
Okay, Miss Juba, before we left, you were talking about how, I think your husband mentioned how the pole was a metaphor for anything that, is holding you back from your purpose. Mm-hmm. And so I want our listeners to know, like, is the pulpit also a metaphor, or are you actually in some aspect of ministry?
The pulpit, and I explained in my book about my pulpit experience. Mm-hmm. And so the pulpit isn't metaphoric. I'm not an ordained minister, but I do minister. I minister every day. I'm ministering right now. Mm-hmm. I minister when I go to my traditional 9 to 5. I minister to, I have a lot of different things that I'm involved in, and I'm connected to a lot of other ministries, but I minister all the time. It might not necessarily, my pulpit, I guess it is kind of metaphoric, but my pulpit, it is, it's wherever I am. It's, it's my platform.
Yeah. I think that's like the most powerful thing that like you can share with our listeners is the fact that, I know for me, from my belief, when God calls you into your purpose, it doesn't have to be in the traditional, standing there on Sunday, I'm in front of a congregation. It's like, no, I need you to go out and touch my people, touch the rest of the world, take your message to them so they see me. So the fact that getting people to understand the fact that you can have a ministry outside of the quote-unquote brick walls of a church, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's where ministry has to happen. Mm-hmm. Especially for me, because I tell people this all the time, because I said, sometimes it gets frustrating, especially now. I've been, we've been in church for a while, right? And most people don't even know that, my husband and I, we were youth ministers when we ended up in Charlotte. Long story short, that's kind of like what we did. But I'm like, okay, the church. Mm-hmm. It's like, a lot of them have been like, oh, well, Juba, it's good that you're sharing your story and your testimony, but I haven't had a single one to really and truly, grab my hand and, just kind of really support me. Mm-hmm. But I know that it's okay. It's okay because I say that, my ministry, it isn't necessarily in the four walls of anybody's church. Mm-hmm. It really, truly isn't. Because a lot of times the people that I know that God needs to reach through me, and through my story, most of them they're not sitting in church. Mm-hmm. A lot of them aren't.
And then a lot of guys used to say, you go to church on Sunday because they've been sinning so bad. They gotta be in there on Sunday.
On Saturday, serving on Sunday. That's it.
So let me ask you that then.
As I told everybody, we are on Christian radio, so we get a little bit of an idea of what goes on behind the scenes.
Right.
And if you see how these pastors, preachers, bishops, prophets, prophetesses, everybody got a title. Right. And ain't nobody doing that.
But how do you get that title? Like, when you...
That's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show.
I'm calling myself Pastor Alexander. Oh, I've been talking about this.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
This is Bishop Will saying for now. You were calling me Bishop Will saying for now.
This is my question to both. This is to both of y'all. Mm-hmm. the traditional church can be so hypocritical.
They can.
They can be so hypocritical.
Yeah.
How did y'all go about with dealing with those people? Because some of them good Christians are worse than some of these.
Good question. But I'll tell you this: our experience when she said we went back to North Carolina, and that's where we got into the church. The reason why we were able to get into this particular church, for one, my brother was the pastor.
Okay.
The second thing, my brother had did 7 years in prison for murder.
Okay.
So again, he could understand me because he's been where I've been. So it's easier to talk to. We used to go into prison ministries and we ministered prison. We go in there and God was like, "Hey, what you doing there? You gave me a package."
Yeah.
I'm like, dude. You know what I mean? You deserve it. You know what I mean?
Another package.
And my brother, like, man, my brother didn't even know. And that's what I was telling her. I'm going to start writing a book called The Memoirs of a Quiet Drug Dealer. Because I sold drugs for years and I never had the glitz and the fame with it because I didn't want that. Because the older guy who put me into the game told me if you want longevity, that you cannot be flashy. You can't be, if you want to have longevity. It's either or. Now, it was times when I would pause from selling drugs, when I would be flashy. But when I was out actively, I was never flashy. But that was one of the things I think that helped us get into this particular church was being that my brother was there and he could understand me. He didn't judge us. And that was the main thing. You know, you go into church a lot of times, people judge you for what you wear.
Yes, sir.
A lot of the churches that we've attended, you go in there casual wearing what we have on now.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the churches that we grew up in, you have to wear.
Oh yeah.
That's why you gotta be suited and booted. You gotta be suited and booted.
They're gonna look like, where you think you're going? I mean, the elders will stop you like, you can't come here like that.
That's why y'all gotta be cast and clean.
But where we know they accept you for who you are, however you come, because we appreciate you even coming.
Yes.
Right. But that was my thing. So.
And see, it's good that you guys did have that connection with someone because the people in the church can be so judgmental. Could be are the type of people that see you out in the streets and say, "Why is a drug dealer why do we let a drug dealer between these walls?"
Right.
God would not bless this house. Kick him out.
Jesus hung out with some of the most wretched of people.
Yeah,
and they loved him.
Exactly.
Jesus did hang out with
They loved him completely.
Yeah, and that's what this is about to go way off subject. But that's what you ever saw the show Black Jesus?
Yeah.
That's what it's a little extreme, but that's what the preface on is that Jesus did not hang with the righteous.
Right.
Jesus did not hang with or speak to the righteous because they were already righteous.
Exactly.
He went out.
Why did he come out? He came out to seek and save the lost.
Right.
Exactly. It's like
Because
you
even with the
good.
guy Eric that was calling in, I think that was one of the things that he was trying to hit on. I could be wrong. I don't want to assume, but a lot of times when dancers are in there, a lot of the dancers do attend church on Sundays.
Yeah.
A lot of them are mothers. A lot of them are students. A lot of them work 9 to 5, and they still go in there to hustle because that's all it is. It's just money to them. They're not in there looking for a husband. They're not in there looking for relationships. They're in there as a job. A lot of them are actors. They look at it like a acting job. Like if you work for Tyler Perry, you go in, you take off your clothes for Tyler Perry. You know what I mean?
I need to get a tax.
But Tyler might not. Never mind.
Yeah. Another show.
That's the podcast.
I think I can send more girls to school than LeBron did.
Truthfully
I
saying,
love you, Tyler.
if
Go
you
ahead.
have
I do the movie.
if you have business lunches
Yeah.
at a strip club, you can write that off.
You
But
sure
you
can.
have to speak business at least 10% of the time you are in this place.
It sounds like somebody knows.
Hey, she's just.
I'm getting my taxes prepared.
Like I told you, I've been on the conference call. I've been
game.
on the conference call. I'm like, really? They were like, oh, but we got to talk business just so I can write this out. You're not using me.
Hey, well, I guess this is about the last question I got to ask y'all is because we got to get up out of here. We still in times. You know, the landlord, I think, might be coming around the corner. The money. Do you miss the money? And because you had to replace that. You had to replace that.
Right.
Because sound like that the addiction was the money.
Right.
Of course.
What did you change that addiction with so that you staying out of that lifestyle?
I think for me, well, I know for me, I always say that I've seen a whole lot of money, and I've been brought down to absolutely nothing. But the only difference is that now, before I was trusting myself, I was trusting the ability, the fact that, hey, I could go out here into this club and I could go make I can go make my rent money real quick. I can go make $500. So, I can go and make this money real quick. Where now I don't have to trust myself. I trust a God that's very dependable, that he's going to supply everything that I absolutely need. And he doesn't disappoint. We don't miss out on anything.
For me, I think, the money was the root of the evil.
The love of it.
The love of it.
Yes.
Right.
The lusting after the money. Chasing
Women
the
are the root of evil, but
Hey, but
Whatever.
my thing was,
you wholeheartedly.
to replace that,
Sure.
just happiness, just being happy.
Yeah.
Because I had lots of money, but I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Having to watch over your shoulder, having to watch your back, knowing that people want to take that from you.
Yes.
When I met her, she didn't write about it in the book, but I was actually held hostage, pistol whip, duct tape. The day before she came to pick me up, I almost lost my life behind money. So
Right.
you started to say, is it really worth it? That's what I didn't mention that part of the drug game.
yeah, don't. And something else you said though before we got out of here was that I think one of the key points you said was you still don't feel fulfilled, and you still have that void, still have that hole inside, no matter how much money you make.
Right. That's
You
because
still
you're not walking in your
Exactly.
purpose.
Right.
When you're not walking in your purpose, you're
Exactly.
not going to feel fulfilled.
Exactly, and so
And
once
it doesn't matter whether it's a dead end job. It doesn't matter if it's a dead end job, whatever it is. If you are not doing what it is that you were put here to do, you're not going to be satisfied. You're not.
Tell them where to find this book.
You can find my book, From the Pole to the Pulpit, on Amazon. And make sure it's the one with the little silhouette. You see the little sexy silhouette?
Hey, Jackson is hell.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey,
My
man.
artist, he did this right. He did this right. But it's From the Pole to the Pulpit. It's available on Amazon. You can also find, if you follow me on Facebook, I do have an author's page. It's Juva Threat, spelled just like threat, Alexander. And I also have a link there if you want to just purchase it via PayPal. You can check it right there on my page, on my Facebook page.
And we'll be writing my memoirs a little later.
come on, we're gonna bring y'all
We got
back.
one coming,
Well,
right?
we need
Bring y'all back.
Hey, dog. Hey, man, y'all got a story to tell.
Definitely,
Yeah.
man. And like I said, it might be another couple out there that's similar to us, that's in the early stages.
Yes.
That
Right.
might not know
Exactly.
that they can make it.
Yes.
Because you can make it.
You can make it, man. And don't let nobody tell you what you can't do, and don't listen to what people say, because at the end of the day, I love my wife. Regardless of
All that
what
matters.
anybody else think of.
Yes, sir.
All that matters.
Yes, sir. Hey, at the end of the day, hey, once that is said, hey, it might be time to close the shop, dog.
Time to close the shop.
It might, unfortunately, hey, man, thank y'all.
I
Thank
was
you.
hoping somebody was
Thank
gonna
you.
trim my beard or
Thank y'all.
something, man.
Thank y'all. Hey, that's exactly how you gotta make an appointment. Hey, you gotta make an appointment. You gotta make an appointment to get your beard stuff trimmed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's in the back of the barber shop.
All right.
Hey, man, this has been great, man.
Thank you
y'all.
so much for having us.
Thank y'all,
Thanks.
thank y'all, thank y'all. And it's anytime y'all pushing anything, y'all got anything y'all need to talk about, please come back to the barber
Yes,
shop.
sir.
Awesome. Thank you.
This has been Talking Randomish, man. Hey, it's time to clean the clippers, wash the flows, or I guess sweep the flow.
Who got
And
the
since
bathroom? Who got the bathroom?
oh the couple, she can clean the mirror. You can talk. Hey,
You gotta start making the guests do the duty.
hey, yes sir, yes sir. We tired of this bathroom, man. Hey
I'm
y'all.
about to pick up some clippers and cut my beard.
Hey fellas, hey, we thank y'all. Thank you, Facebook Live. Hey, Maximilian, tell them where to find you right quick.
Hey, we're gonna be on Friday night, 6 to 7:30. The show is called Think. We talk all about politics and opinion. So Donald Trump has been a gift.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's called Think with A. Maximilian. Fridays, 6:30 to 7:30 on 1100 AM. Be there.
Hey, y'all, it's time to close the shop. Y'all have a great night. Thank y'all for coming.
Good night. Good night.
I think he was.
Guys, I really appreciate your support.
Was it-
Thank you so much.
Hey, Boogie.
What's up, Donnie?
What's up, Cuzzo? Love you, man.
Thank everybody. It's been a good one. It's been a good one.
Close it down. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.